Welcome everyone to part 4 of level annuities. Today we'll be looking at perpetuities and deferred annuities. Before we do, check our description below to learn what ASABA is all about, and don't forget to subscribe and share this with your friend so that they may also have the knowledge. Okay, let's start. What is perpetuity? Perpetuity is basically an annuities which is payable forever. That is with no end date in sight. It just keeps on paying forever. For example, perhaps a share that pays 10 rand dividend each year forever. Like you have no end date to say it's 100 years, it's 200 years, it's 500 years, but then it just continues forever. So, as you can imagine, we cannot calculate the accumulated value of this payment because it continues forever, and therefore you do not have the value for forever. That would be in infinity. This payment continue indefinitely. Now consider a scenario where 1 rand is payable at the end of the year forever, and you have to discount this to the present value. I think I have something for you here. Let's say you are looking at the present value, which is having an annuity which pays 1 rand at the end of each year forever. So what is the present value? As you could imagine, when you have a formula like this, where the limit, I will use the limit because that's the one which is easy to use, go into infinity of an annuity, let's say n, the present value, you would have the limit of n goes to infinity of 1 minus 1 plus I to power minus n over to power I. What do you get here? When you take 1 to the power I to infinity, you would eventually reach 0. Therefore, you have 1 over I. So, the present value of 1 rand, which is payable forever at the end of each year, would be 1 over I, whatever interest is. So here is the formulas. You will have to prove the other one for a payment which is made in advance, that is at the beginning of a period instead of at the end of a payment. Instead of at the end of a period. So we also have perpetuity payable pthly. If you understood part 2 of the video, you would understand what is happening here, because you should be able to prove this formula on your own. Again, it goes to infinity, therefore that 1 plus I becomes 0, and you would be end with 1 over I to power p, and when it's made in advance, that's d to power p. Now let's look at deferred annuities. What do we mean by deferred annuity? Perhaps your payment start at a period which is not right now. Let's say your annuity starts in 5 years time. How do you calculate the present value? You will have to calculate the present value of your annuities at that time, that's at 5 years, and then you would have to discount it back to the present value. So remember, we are looking at present values and accumulated value. So it is possible that your payment may start after 5 years. Let's say maybe you are looking at an annuity, like heading retirement. You will receive payments when you retire, but that does not mean you retire right now. You may have to find the present value, so you will have to discount that from the time you retire to the present. So here is the list of how these things are calculated. with their symbols, and V again is the discount value. Let's have an example. We will never skip this thing without having an example. So here we are. Again, pause the video and try it on your own and see if you get the same answer. Calculate the present value of an annuity which starts 5 years from now and continues forever. The annuities, the annuity is made at the beginning of each year, that is in advance, and assume that the annual discount rate is 12.5%. Okay, we already have the discount rate. So what are we looking for? We're looking for the present value. How much is the payment? They didn't tell us how much is the payment. So let's assume the annuity pays R1. So this annuity starts 5 years from now and is made in advance and it continues forever. So it's a deferred perpetuity. Here's a present value of a deferred perpetuity. So how do we find this thing? So we're going to have to find the discount, that is 1 plus I, which I is 12.5%, and we will discount it to 5 years. So we will have 1 minus 1. So remember 1 over I, because this is the formula for perpetuity. So you'd have, oops, it seems like you will need D here instead of I. The answer would be this thing here. You can also write it like this. You can also write it as 1 minus D to power 5 is the same answer. So you'll have 1 minus 12.5% to power 5 and 1 over 12.5%, and the answer would be 4,103. I hope I found the correct thing. My thing is closed. Again, guys, thank you for checking this channel out. We have part 3 coming, part 4, which has examples. So make sure that you tune in to the last video of this chapter and you understand it. And please consult your notes and don't and try to make as many examples as possible. Thank you again.